There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to Talking Trots. And haven't we got into winter? It's starting to... Morts has almost bought a jumper. Last Friday night at Harold Park, he brought a jacket as a fashion tool to carry around all night.
Excuse me, Michael, Harold Park.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Gloucester Park.
Gloucester Park.
Did I say?
Yes,
there you
Harold
go.
Park.
Freudian slip.
A little bit gone a few years before
Yes.
most people's time.
No, but you were a constant visitor at Harold Park in
Certainly
your
was.
day. But it was cold last week, and you bought your fashion accessory as you you put it
Draped
on.
over my arm, looked good.
Yes, but it is getting very cool, and hopefully the rain stays away tomorrow. It's supposed to get a little bit of rain, I think, in the morning and then clearing tonight. So hopefully a good racing service for us tomorrow night for the Barbagallo race night. No feature race as such, but we do have a
Now, Michael,
free-for-all.
Barbagallo race night. Which one do you drive from the Barbagallo stable? I'm
No.
picturing a Maserati, perhaps?
Yeah, no,
or
nothing from me. I'm not a big
Nothing?
car man.
No, okay.
No, not a big car man.
Just red wine and food.
Sports coach.
Yes, yes.
Indeed. All right. Good night. It's good night racing. We're going to have Ryan Bell on to join us. Thanks to Ollie for filling in for the last couple of weeks, Morts, while you're away. Condolences to you on the passing of your lovely mother, Patricia. Great service yesterday, and great to have you back.
Thank you, Michael. It is good to be back again after what was a very lengthy spell. So be warned, I may need the run first up just to get back into it. But thank you very much for your kind thoughts, and it was great to see you there yesterday.
Yeah, and your brother
as we
Russ
celebrated.
was very good yesterday.
Did
And
a
the
great
boys,
job.
your boys.
How good are the boys?
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
They look fit.
Are they a lot fitter than their dad, I can tell you that much. But no, they did a great job, and it was a great day to celebrate the life of my great mum.
Yep.
There was some very good racing last Friday night at Gloucester Park, as always, Michael. Manhattan Moon. Now, Christopher Vogt gave us a really good push on the Retrovision GP preview last Friday, so it always pays to have a listen. Gave it a good push, well driven, got through, got the
A little
run.
bit scary when I got crossed, because I think if
Yeah.
you'd taken the short price, you thought just lead, but Chris Vogt didn't panic, just
No, and he was...
in the end it worked out better.
Yeah, no, it was a really good drive and managed to get the cash. So make sure you're listening to the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview tomorrow morning. In the second, Shane Tognolini done a really good job with the winner. Excite Me, 3 from 3 so far in this state, and you'd think there'd be a few more there. Cam's Boulder was an easy winner in the Pure Steel, and a brilliant drive by Kyle Harper aboard Malachi in race 6. In the breeze, got challenged everywhere, actually got headed, but it was just a nice, cool drive by Kyle. Didn't panic and managed to get the horse up and win, which was a great effort. Now, I See You Baby might have pulled Emily's arms out of their sockets. Boy, that horse just pulled, but gee, it was a great win in the end, so didn't take much out of it, and a great drive once again by Emily, who is just in incredible form.
You haven't been doing your doubles because you've been away, but would have featured every week.
Oh, she just outstanding form. And, of course, the money was right with Bricky's Dream in the second last, got to the front, and that was it.
And going really well, Robbie Williams at the moment.
Exceptionally well, yeah. So that was a great win by Bricky's Dream. Friday night at Gloucester Park was a training double to Team Bond, driving double to Kyle Harper, who's driving in very good form, and a driving double to Denny Roberts. Saturday at Bunbury, there was a treble to Gary Hall Jr. in the bike. Sunday at Calabaron, so I'm assuming you were there for the Calabaron Cup, Michael. What was the weather like out there?
Fortunately missed it.
Did you? Okay. It was a good win by Beyond Bling for Lang Inwood and Shannon Savelko. But Sunday at Calabaran, how good was this? A training double for Lang Inwood, then a driving double to Callan Savelko, driving double to Shannon Savelko, and guess what? A driving double to Emily Savelko.
Where was Joey?
They just own the place.
They do.
Absolutely owned it. So,
would have been great if Joey could have got a winner.
That's an outstanding effort. But like we said earlier, Emily Savelko just in career best form. Monday at Pinjarra, a training double to the very powerful Michael Young stable, as well as Kim Prentice got a training double and a driving double to Emily Savelko and Stewie Mack. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, Michael, there was nothing. Not a thing.
No doubles.
Oh, Emily must have had the night off.
Spread out.
But
everything was spread out.
It was a great week of harness racing, Michael, as always.
It sure was.
As always.
Yeah, no, really good.
And the best part is we've got so much coming up in the next 2 or 3 months, not just here in WA, but with the Inters and all of our big feature races starting to roll in.
Yeah, well, that attention turns to Queensland for their winter carnival, and really starting. Albion Park's really good this week again, and we've seen Don Hugo come back, and obviously Leap to Fame come back, and a few really nice horses, and then they'll roll through to the winter carnival there, and then we start in August, our big races with the Diamond and Pearl Classics, and then
heading into the Westbred Classics. And of course, just on the Brisbane Carnival, of course, we spoke about Emily Savelko earlier on. She'll be going across there and representing WA.
Again,
so
the junior drivers. Yes. Actually, last time she represented junior drivers, I think it was in Queensland as well.
Okay, well, there she goes, back on familiar territory. And
I only know that because we were the Inter Dominion was in December at that stage, and we watched your horse win the Tricky Mickey win the Golden Nugget.
And the Golden Nugget, yes.
Yeah, with all the junior drivers at the Creek Bar.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, look, she's going over there to represent WA in unbelievable form.
And we'll win because we've won everything this year as far as the Australian drivers. Junior won the Australian drivers. Denny won the Lady Drivers Championship, and no doubt Emily will win the junior driver. Is it junior drivers? Young drivers.
Young drivers, yeah. Not junior. Young drivers. Yeah. I think it's got to be 25 or under, I think.
That is the case, yeah.
But Michael, that's young.
Yeah.
compared to us.
For us, it is more.
Very much so. But no, that's we've got a lot to look forward to, and can't wait to see always love seeing the Diamond, the Pearl, and then, of course, the Westbred Nights. Fantastic. Some great racing, and then before you know it, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. Great harness racing.
Well, one man's got to play a big part, particularly in the 2 and 3-year-olds, as he always does, is Ryan Bell, who has a couple of good, not only horses going around as a trainer, but he's a catch driver now, and Ryan Bell. And before we get to him, he's driving Louis Dior, who comes back after about 6 months away from the track. We all know how good he is, Louis Dior. Let's go back to his last win. Ryan Bell was in the bike, and he wins a 4-year-old Westbred.
In lights the inside as they turn. 29-1 the next quarter. And out in front it's Louis Dior clear from Mar Beach Sam. Name in lights creeps through. Lucid Dreams to the outside and then Major Freeway in the straight low. Louis Dior's clear from Mar Beach Sam. Name in lights running a good race again. Lucid Dreams the outside, but Louis Dior's going to bolt in over Mar Beach and Name in lights having a lunge at it. But
Ryan Bell, welcome to the program.
Yeah, how we going, fellas? Cheers for having me.
Yeah, really good. And Is this virtually your only outside stable drive that you actually drive?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. But,
you're available for other catch drives?
I might have business cards floating around soon. I've always helped Annie out at the track over the years, and she's always helped us as well, and she just puts me on when I say I want to keep my license up for a bit, and it's good, and he supports me and I'll support her.
He's not a bad horse if you've got to drive one outside your stable. He's not a bad horse to jump on, Louis Dior.
Yeah, he's that natural ability, Rads. He's actually a very, very good horse. but he can be a bit vulnerable because of his mannerisms at the times. Like, he can over race a little bit. He's a bit precious at times, and it tells sometimes on the track. But his last prep, he just wasn't right the whole prep, and he still did all right. But those couple of duck eggs next to his name was because he just wasn't 100% healthy at the time. So they put him away, and they've brought him back, and his work at the moment's actually been pretty good. So fingers crossed. And it's a good draw first up as well.
He's a well-performed horse, 18 starts for 8 wins, and like you said, he struggled at the end of that last campaign, but always seems to go pretty well fresh first up. Drawn 11, so he'll get a nice run through. How do you expect him to go tomorrow night, Ryan?
Yeah, I expect him to go good. I do think he will need the run, but given his natural ability and his speed that he's got, and the draw that he's got, I think he, with a bit of luck, he might get away with it first up.
Mort's usually blows up if I play like a derby or something that he got beat in. I almost played the night that he beat Never Ending, but Mort's would have walked out.
Thanks for not playing that one, Michael.
That's how. But that shows how much ability he's got. He's beaten Never Ending, and Sorodero was in the race. Like, he's got some big scalps. Yeah. This horse.
Yeah, that night might actually be my fault with Never Ending, because I gave Justin a new noseband to try on Never Ending, and it snapped right on release point. That's why Never Ending galloped. So there was a method behind my madness, not just joking.
Thanks for that, Belly.
But
that's terrific.
Yeah, he is a decent horse. Like I said, he's just a bit precious at times.
Yep. Well, they can be like that. Now, you got a horse in race 4, which I've always been a big fan of. He's had a couple of tricks in his bag along the way as well, but of course last start he was held up badly there on the fence. In race 4, number 11, What Are the Odds? Once again, should get a nice run through. He's a nice horse, and he must be a really good each-way chance tomorrow night, Ryan?
Yeah, he's always a good each-way chance, Morts, because he's, again, another one with ability, but it's just had problem after problem. He's come back pretty good. I'm a bit filthy on myself after I said I did hand up once I crossed as easy as I did last week. But
so are we, Billy.
Yeah. Wasn't going to mention that, but yeah.
And even though he ran second the week before in the free for all, I wasn't happy with the way he felt, and I just, with myself being a wee bit rusty, I just didn't have enough trust in him to hold the front again. But the way he felt during the race and the way he felt after, like even in the warm down, he just wanted to keep going. I was just like, you idiot. And even at the 400, I could have got between Junior and the leader and got going, but it was just too far from home. But now, since I've watched the replay and seen how he pulled up and all that, I'm filthy at myself for not being more confident in the horse and just giving him a chance to prove himself, because I actually think he would have pulled it off either way, whether I held up or whether I got going at the 400. But at the same token, he still weren't, so that's the main thing. But he's going good. He's going good, and this looks a tricky draw. I've got the option of going 3 back the fence, or do I stay the moving line? I'm not too sure. But either way, again, with a bit of luck, his speed could get him home at the end of it.
And he's one of those horses I think everyone keeps on underestimating, including punters, because he's, as Mort said, his record's really good. Like, he just keeps on rising to that next level.
Yeah, and he does. And I think the way he's come back, I think he will go through the grades this time. I don't think he's going to be a genuine free-for-all horse, but I think he'll be a winter free-for-all horse in the future.
Yeah, and even hopefully we get around the good areas, you might be able to get that second tier to free-for-all coming through, which there's some nice races for those type of horses as well.
Yeah, well, Tiger Royals won a consolation for a Fremantle Cup, and I think this horse is a bit better than Tiger Royal, so that's guide of, you're right, that's probably where we will be at.
All right.
20, I was just going to say 2,536 metres, 3 pegs, Michael. No better place to be at Gloucester Park.
That's a great place.
You got some good
Well,
choices.
glad you said that, Morts, because I thought it was 21. So
No.
you probably just told me how to drive him.
Some things work, but no, 25-36, there is no better place to be than 3 fence at Gloucester Park. And the way he's going, you would think that if he managed to get a run from there, he'd be extremely hard to beat. So
yeah, and there's a few of those races for him as well coming up. What is he? He's an 80.
Yeah.
So you'll just keep on backing up in that same type of 75 to 95 race every week, will you? Or every time he goes
my biggest issue with him is keeping him alive.
Yeah.
He colics all the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he has a bad colon and immune system, and he's had a couple colic surgeries and God knows what else, and what it is he's got worms permanently stuck to his colon.
Jeez.
Which is formed from when he was a young horse. So his whole life, from time he's a yearling, his biggest issue is keeping him alive because he colics just naturally. Like, we can't give him certain stuff. He's got to be on certain diet to stop him from colicking. And yeah, at the moment we seem to be having it under control. So whilst he's earned us some good money, we've given it all back.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's amazing because he was such a good 2-year-old.
Yep.
And raced in some of those big races, and then obviously he had a year off at one of the stages, but he's come back, and that's amazing that he does what he does then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, and why he holds form. That's why I've got to keep racing him, because we just never know what's going to happen with him. So we've got to get out of him when we can, but we've also got to look after him as good as we can as well.
I think it's a mile the week after. I think that same type of class, which might, if he draw well, would really suit him.
Yeah, he won't be going around next week. This is his 4th week in a row.
Okay,
so
all right.
I don't usually start my horses so successively, but like I said, he's having some easy runs and he's pulling up well. So we've got to keep going around while we can.
Okay.
And in the last, Ryan, Majestic Lombo, which was a really nice win first up down there at Pinjarra, sustained a long run and, could have been found guilty of switching off the top of the straight, but just seemed to keep finding and was a very impressive winner.
Yeah, he surprised me a little bit. He's actually a fair dinkum little nutter. But he seems to be, since we've started working him with the older horses and putting a bit more work into him, and he seems to have pulled his head in a little bit. And how far he'll go, I don't really know, because like I said, he is very hard to deal with at home. He's worse at home than what he is at the track, thank God. But I'm a little bit underdone, and I think I might have thrown him in the deep end a little bit this week. I've been wanting to go to trials, and there hasn't been any trials that fit in with my routine. And yeah, just on fitness wise, I think he's in the deep end a bit this Friday.
It's a good race.
Yeah,
Robbie.
Very good. It's probably the best 2-year-old field we've seen outside the Sales Classic.
Yeah, Robbie.
Final, and Robbie's horse was, I think Justin's horse is the best one we've seen this year, and from what I saw last Monday, that was pretty impressive. They don't breeze like that at Pinjarra and run those sectionals running away like he did. So, it was pretty impressive. Yeah,
right. And also Michael's horses who came through that Sales Classic are up. Butted me up one on Monday, but unfortunately Aiden's horse galloped
just before the turn.
Looks a really nice horse, and C3X first up. As well, so it's interesting that these 2-year-old races are coming back. How far away are your 2-year-olds from coming back that went through the Sales and Western Crown races?
Yeah, they're about a month away. I was going to trial them next week, and they just got a bit of a bug going through the stable, and most of my stable are horses that are just coming back and nearly ready from a break, and they've just got a slight viral infection going through, so we just had to stop for this week and put them on the easy list and treat them. But Fear the Storm and Ma Petite Dame were my top seeds, and I'm very happy with them. But given the bug that's going through the stables, I've just had to back off. So at this stage, we're still on track to start first up in the De Campo Memorial. But yeah, I'm quite thankful to myself that I brought them back into work earlier than what I should have, because there's nothing worse than when you think you can get away with mapping it out bang on time and then they get something like this. So at least we're getting this out of the way and treating it now and not when we're ready to race.
Very good. That's good to hear. Bally, your best tomorrow night?
I think they're just all nice, honest each way drives if the luck comes their way. I don't really have a best, to be honest. I think they can all. I'm not confident any one of them can win, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. They just need a bit of luck.
And hopefully start at good each way odds that we can have a little something each way.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. How have the yearlings broken in the sale? You've obviously Albert bought a few and Kevin bought a few, and you bought yourself for yourself. Process going smoothly so far?
Yeah. Dean Miller had the last. So this is his third year doing it for me. He breaks them in and does their preps for me now. And he's done a terrific job, and he's real happy with what we've purchased this year. Wave Rider's brother, he says, was the pick of the lot, and we bought him afterwards. He's by Captain Crunch, I think he is.
Okay.
The one that I really liked when Dean sent the videos was the King of Swing filly, which is a half to what are the odds.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely
is that for
beautiful pacing
Kevin
filly,
Jennings?
beautiful manners, real professional, and a real nice type. And my Captain Treacherous filly, she's my favourite at the moment. I think she's a 3/4 sister to Lavra Joe.
Okay.
Justin bred her, I think. Yeah, Justin
Keemstar?
presented her at the sale. Or Jacqueline, sorry.
Yeah. Keemstar, is that the one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's a real nice filly. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
All right.
So to answer your question, we're quite happy with what we purchased, but it's still early days.
Yeah, no, beautiful. That's good. At least they've gone through the first process well. Now they go in the system, and obviously we hope to see him at the Sales Classic in February next year.
In February, as we know, Rads, where it should be.
That's right. Exactly. Before the sale, get them interested. Is that what we think?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Good on you, Belly. Mate, thanks for taking your time out to speak to us. As always, been entertaining. No doubt you'll be waiting for Morts to come on the Gloucester Park preview tomorrow to give his quiz question.
Yeah, you bored me for a while, Morts. I'll get in too easy, but I haven't been listening the last couple of weeks, so I've missed them a bit. So.
There was a 2-part question the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was very good. Yeah, it was the actual horse that I was looking for was Speedy Chevelle.
Yeah.
And the other part of the question was there's a street in Ishamanal named after this horse.
Okay, yeah.
And why, but more importantly, why was it named after that horse?
Oh,
okay.
That was the best part. So made it a bit tricky, but Gemma Hayman came good. It won the last ever race at Gloucester Park.
Richmond
Raceway, sorry.
Raceway.
Won the last ever race. So
there we go.
It was a tricky 2-part, so I'll see if I can find another 2-part one for you, Belly.
They're quite. Aidan and I have a bit of a contest with them, and I find them quite depressing because it makes me realise how long I've been around.
Well, I've had to change them because I was doing horses in the 90s and the 2000s, and Matt Young just got them straight away, and I thought, no, we're going to have to go back a few years here. So we dipped all the way back to I think I even went back as far as Red Vicar one week to try and catch him out.
I like the 80s East Coast ones. I get them straight away.
Yeah.
That's how old I am, Jelly.
Very good, very good.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you at the track.
Anytime. Appreciate it. Cheers.
There we go. Ryan Bell, always entertaining.
Oh, always,
And
absolutely.
Great. He's a thinker as well.
He is a thinker.
Great to talk to him about racing,
Yep.
like just in general, and understands. And when you're talking about programming and stuff like that, very, very good.
And has an opinion, which is good.
Yep.
And happy to share it.
But we'll actually discuss it with you. And
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, has an opinion, which is good. Very good trainer, and not a bad driver. Pretty handy driver as
goes
well.
okay.
I'd be happy if he goes 3 pegs tomorrow night. And what are the odds? Have a little something each way, Michael.
2,500.
Responsibly, of course, but
Now, on the Retrovision preview tomorrow...
you don't want the answer to the quiz, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do you want to give a... You can give a tip if you want. You can give a little clue. No? Now, the guest will be Michael Young, who's got a big hand tomorrow night. Got some really good horses going around that are big chances in the races. But
So it's a must listen.
it's a must listen tomorrow to get the good oil from the very powerful
Extremely.
at the moment.
And isn't that a fact? He's still on top.
Hang on, I'll have to get back to you on that one. But the teams change tomorrow. Matt Young can't join the panel. So the panel is host with the most, Timmy Walker.
Timmy does a great job.
Silky, Glen Mortimer,
Silky, yep. Encyclopedia.
Trent Cooper,
Trent, good Fremantle man.
and Ollie Cownie joining the panel.
Just another one we've elevated to stardom, Michael.
Yep, that's right. That's exactly right. Everyone goes on to bigger and better things.
No, he's a good man, Ollie. He's a very good form analyst, and he'll add a lot of value tomorrow morning. So
really happy for Ollie to continue the way through. He's come a long way and doing
He
a
has.
really good job. Did a great job when you were away.
yeah, no, he's very happy to step in and help out, which is terrific, and find some nice winners.
Now here we are. State's leading trainer, Michael Young, 63 wins from 184 starters, 20 ahead of Aidan de Campo in second, and Team Bond in third at 37 wins. Lang Inwood at 34, senior at 29. That's the state's leading
So
trainers.
State, what about Metro?
Metro, Michael Young, still defying him.
Wow.
30 Premier Gloucester Park wins from 112 starts. Team Bond in second on 24, just ahead of senior on 23. Aidan de Campo on 19, and then rounding out, well, it's the top 6 because Dylan Edgerton Green, Mike Reid on 13 equal.
There's some very big names
Justin
there.
Prentice is on 12.
Some very big
So anyway,
names.
his strike rate's pretty good, JP.
Yeah.
Only had the 55 starters for 12 wins at GP.
But no, that's some very big names Michael's in front of. We had him on the show, remember,
He's
going
defying
back
them.
a couple of months ago, and he
Yep.
thought, I'm just,
And then he was on while you're away and still defying him and keeps on. And he'll extend tomorrow night.
Because when you look at the amount of horses and horses in good form currently,
Yep.
he's going extremely well.
Yeah, he'll extend tomorrow night because he's got Blaze on in the first, who's a big chance. Alexander the Great and Acushla McCree in race number 2. Yes, race 3 off. He's got Montana DJ who's in. And then he's got this time Jacko. And he's got, and to finish off, he's got Majestic Gaga,
Yep.
who's absolutely flying, the trotter, and also Buttermy Up ceased to act in the 2-year-old against Robbie Williams'
Yep.
2-year-old. So you'd think he would
Get something
put a
there
couple-
tomorrow night.
Put a couple on there.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Great form. Very good form.
All right, this segment, Morts, is brought to you by the one and only Loans 123, Car Loans, Debt Consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see?
The great man, the nude nut, Steve Sell.
At loans123.com.au or 1800 100 100.
That's my part.
I know,
Michael.
sorry.
Michael, that's my part.
I know.
You throw to me and I say 100,
Yes,
100.
it's in front of me and I just read it. But obviously, big supporters of us, Brad Hardy,
Yeah,
who breaks all the nudes.
He does. He's very good, Bradley. Very good indeed. And
which
so is the Nude Nut.
Retrovision also sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
He's
a good man.
Doesn't he? Doesn't he love it, Brad?
He's a good Hilton Park boy, is Brad.
Yes.
Good Hilton Park boy.
Yeah, doesn't he love it?
Yep. No, he's
Not
good.
only does he break all the AFL news, loves racing.
Yeah, doesn't mind a punt, Bradley.
He'll be sad. He'll be sad. Snitzel died during the week, who was the great sire, but trained by Gerald Ryan, and Brad's mates with Gerald.
Yes.
And
always finds a couple from his yard.
He would have known all about Snitzel throughout his career when it won. So, so, all right, big segment.
I was going to say, if that's the first ad we've done, that means it's the first segment.
Yes.
We should get on with it.
Well, shouldn't we? It's time to take a break.
Because it's winter. People like to go to bed early, Michael. They can't be sitting up all night listening to us.
Dribble. No,
Yeah.
they cannot. They cannot. Even with a glass of red in their hand. Let's take a break. The feature race last week was the Pure Steel. And it was Cam's Boulder, who's been in great form. And Cam's Boulder goes around tomorrow night. As well, so no doubt he'll be another chance tomorrow night when he goes around. As we have the break, he's in race number 1, and let's see what price he is. In the first, Tab Touch, he's up against Blaze On and also Louis Dior, so he's in a really good race, Cam's Boulder, as he steps through the classes. He's $16 with Tab Touch, Ryan Warwick aboard. No doubt he's going to be a chance in that race as well. As we go to the break, here's Cam's Boulder winning the Pure Steel.
In front in that 28-3. Pete's Honour's coming down the outside. Bet on the River the inside. But Cam's Boulder is clear from Bet on the River. Soho Moonraker getting through to third from Pete's Honour. But Cam's Boulder all the way over Bet on the River by 6 metres. 3 metres away Soho Moonraker and a similar margin.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision. Like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
And the leader, Artie by the Seaside, talks up a storm, is coming after the leader, and Cordero's down the outside as well. Artie by the Seaside in front of Talks Up a Storm. Cordero, Jaws of Lincoln the inside. It's Artie by the Seaside in front of Talks Up a Storm, and Artie by the Seaside beat Talks.
Yeah, she was much too good, Artie by the Seaside, and she goes around again this week in the free-for-all, and she's drawn one again. Preferential barrier draw to mares. Could have drawn 1 or 2. Drawn 1. Little Darling on her outside. She's $1.38 on Tab Touch. And I would suggest that this is probably weaker than the previous week.
Yes, there's no surprise why she is so short, that's for sure. She's a pretty handy mare.
Yep, and obviously she'll go through. She'll have a bit of a break coming up at some stage and then get ready for the Mares Classic races at the end of the year. So the Westrel Mares Classic in November, and before that a couple of really nice races. So Artie by the Seaside is flexing her muscles over here, and looks like another win for her through the winter. This segment is brought to you by the one and only Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist. RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. Morts are in the Retrovision shirt.
Got the club colours on. I've been out at stores all week having to restock shelves after our RAC double discount
The
weekend.
double discount weekend, yeah.
It was phenomenal. But it's a half-yearly clearance, and there's plenty for everybody in your local Retrovision store. 4.9 Google star rating. We got a lowest price guarantee, 60-day price promise, 5% off for RAC members. Why would you shop anywhere else, Michael?
Exactly. What a great, all the electrical appliance stuff you love.
Correct. You might even
I'm getting better.
Might
I'm
even
getting
get you a
better.
job there one day, Michael.
I do it at all our functions when you're there. The ad, I roll into the ad.
Roll into the ad.
Pretty
Ad mode.
seamlessly.
Very good.
Yeah, the Trots in function. I think we.
Yeah.
You graciously gave us some giveaways, and they all love that. Now, speaking about stuff like that, Scotty Hamilton's come up with. I sent you an email about it today. The sportswear, and he's got his own clothing brand. with his pace picks.
Comes up very
pace
well.
Fit.
Yeah.
And he's got one with Chicago Bull.
Yep.
And Peter O'Neill asked him to do one for Ideal Beach.
Ideal Beach, part of the Trots in family.
And they've come up a treat.
Yeah. I saw the caps, they look good.
Yeah. The caps,
shirts.
the shirts.
Yeah.
I like the grey shirt.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
The
yeah.
Looks like the electric lighting around the
Yeah.
horse and great stuff. So
No, they've come up really, really
I reckon
well.
if you're out there and you've got a favourite horse, go and see Scotty. I reckon he'll do you a shirt for you.
Yeah. No, they come up really well. Really, really well. So good concept.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our tips. As we go, it's another tough week, but let's welcome into the program our form expert, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, geez, it's been hard during the winter.
It certainly has, Rad. Was thankful for that last week just to get small loss, which was much better than it was going to be. But yeah, they've been hard to find.
Yeah, no noni. It's it was. You're pretty happy during the run though. AC Lewis gave it the perfect trip.
Yeah, no, he probably needed that first up from a spell. He deserved that win. I think he's thrown 6 or 7 places together, so it was good to see him get a win.
Indeed. All right. So let's get into Friday night. And as we have a look at it's the Barbagallo race night at Gloucester Park. The first at 5:14, 10 races, 10 really good races. Once again, plenty of value there. Let's hope we can find it. The first is Barbagallo Motoring Excellence Pace, 2130 metres. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We have Beat the Bank, $41. Velocipede at $4.80, Tanta Bibby at $9, Spudmeister at $1.26, Lord Titanium at $14, Blaze On, who trialled really well, they put up $5. The very powerful Michael Young stable stepped into it, $2.15.
Wow.
In favour.
Wow.
$2.15.
Well, $5 was just wrong.
Ridiculous. Off its trial. It trialled super before
Crazy.
this. Kim's Boulder, who won the Pure Steel, who we just heard from, $16. Gully Gum, who's been racing really well, $12. The Little Master, who won last week as well, $12. On the back line, High Sugar Rush at $31. The very talented Louis Dior, Open $2.90, is out to $4.80, and Ideal Tomato at $41. Bomber, this is a good race. They put up the wrong price about Blaze On. They've paid the penalty, Tab Touch, or they may have paid the penalty. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I hope they pay the penalty, Rad. They sometimes get it right. But, I think Blaze On's a quality, and whilst he comes up with a sticky draw, he looks likely to work to the breeze at worst, and from there he should just let his class take over. I think he tuned up for this with a nice trial win at Pinjarra. He ripped home in 55.8 on a rain-affected track, so he's clearly up to the mark. Before the spell, he was doing plenty of work in his races and being too strong at GP, and I think he'll make a triumphant return. He just looks the best horse in the race.
Certainly is the best horse in the race, Bomber. Like I said, it's just a little bit of a sticky draw to overcome, but Michael Young, the very powerful Michael Young, and Gary Hall Jr. aboard. Formidable combination. So race 1, horse number 6, Blaze On. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, I think he'll kick us off on a winning note. Morts will go a 2-unit bet to get us started.
All right, that is race number 1. The next one we're going to look at and have a deep dive into it is race number 2. Mortz's second car, the Barbagallo Maserati Pace, for the 2130 metres, because we all know his first car is the Bayswater Mazda 6.
Correct.
And it's parked out the front at the moment. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We've got Hunt the Magic, $9.50. Our Lily Lou at $14. Alexander the Great, $10. Excite Me, who's in great form. The more you win, the better the price. $3.30 to $3.90. Pocket the Change at $18. A Cushla McRee for our man Hayden King at $4.60. Champagne Everyone at $14. Chili Punter at $11. Starlight Dream, a bit of support here, despite drawing the outside, $6 to $4.40. Sweet Vivian at $15, pretty solid. Our Lady Jen at $31 and Parakeet at $19. Bomber, race number 2 in the Maserati. Can we find the winner and maybe get towards buying a Maserati?
Well, we've got the right price to do so, Brad. So I'm with one at a bit of a price here in Sweet Vivian, huge class dropper. She's been chasing home the likes of Little Darling and Artie by the Seaside, and had a little freshen up after running into a bit of trouble in a hot mile race at Bunbury. And whilst I'm not entirely sure where she'll get to in the run, there looks to be good early speed and a bit of pressure with horses like a Kushla Marie and Excite Me pushing forward. So, if the gaps appear at the right time, she's a big enough price to have a look. Hasn't really put in a bad performance since joining the vote camp, other than that one at Bunbury where she struck a bit of trouble. So she's going to be thereabouts.
Interesting race, Bomber. There are quite a few horses that are in some good, current form. Excite Me, 3 from 3 in the state. Hunt the Magic, we know, has got some ability, just doesn't always draw that well. Alexandra the Great, a lot of good chances in this race.
Yeah, there's a bit of depth. Excite Me is one that I think been very well placed at her 3 runs in the state, and this could bring her undone this race. I think if she wins this one, she's better than I thought she was. But there's plenty of depth.
Certainly is, but as you said, Sweet Vivian, certainly a big class dropper on who she's been racing against. For Chris Vogt, who trains and drives Sweet Vivian in race 2, number 10, what's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, around the $15 mark, just the 1 unit more. She will need her share of luck, but if it comes, she's not going to be far away.
All right, that is race number 2 we've previewed, and a bit of value there with Sweet Vivian at $15. As we go to the break, one of the horses that Mort's mentioned, Excite Me, 3 from 3 in WA, beautifully bred by Vincent out of Alta Serena, who was a $500,000 earner in the early to mid
She was.
2000s, yep. Really good filly by Fake Left, so bred in the purple. This mare, Excite Me, and as we go to the break, here is Excite Me making it 3 on end at GP.
And then came Valhalla Miss, Candy Apple and further back Our Lily Lou, but they haven't really changed order. And Excite Me races home to win well from Minor Catastrophe, and third home is Relatively Armour, fourth on the inside. Candy.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater, DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
In front of Manhattan Moon, who's trying very hard, and then came Pocket the Change, but Manhattan Moon's got them now. Manhattan Moon sprinted hard, raced to the front from Velocipede, Pocket the Change, and Manhattan Moon has won well. Second Velocipede from Pocket the Change.
That was Manhattan Moon for Kevin Charles, Chris Folk, and a double for Chris Folk on the night. Did a really good job and good drive, as we said. Listen to the preview on Friday morning, and
gave it a good push.
Yeah, really good push, Manhattan Moon, and beautifully bred by Control and Moment out of Moon over Manhattan, and goes around in race number 6 tomorrow night. He's drawn the outside of the 9. Hayden Charles jumps aboard, who listens, said to us, we were actually looking at our horse Rolling Fire
last Friday night.
Hayden walked past, said, still listening.
Still listening.
One of the 4 or 5 that are left.
Sort of rusted on there. We're slowly just peeling them off, Michael.
And $9 for Manhattan Moon. Good luck to the Charles team tomorrow night in race number 6. Pretty competitive as well, race number 6 tomorrow night. All right, let's jump back in. Oh, actually, this segment, before we do that, is brought to you, Morts, before we do that, by Steel Blue Boots. Built for comfort, made for work, well over 700 stockists nationwide, a mark of true skill.
As you know, they are Australia's leading supplier of work boots, designed for comfort, durability and choice. Backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee, which I can assure you, Michael, you'll never need that guarantee.
No, never need.
No.
Have you seen our man recently, Ross Fitzgerald?
Who? Ross Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He's jetting away. He's everywhere. He is everywhere.
He's growing his hair. And apparently I got told this mightn't be for publication, but his lovely wife Karen yesterday said to me he can almost put it in like a
man bun.
Yeah, a top knot type thing.
Yeah, no, he'll be.
He's very much trying to get on the Nat 5 bandwagon.
Yeah, he'll be ejected from the syndicates.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. No, very good supporters.
He's not going through anything at all at the moment.
No, he's not. Very good supporters, Michael. Steel blue boots, and as we know, they are very comfortable.
They are. At least we know his feet wear is.
His feet wears good. Just worried about what's on top of the cranium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've been concerned for a while. All right, let's get into the next race we're going to look at. This is race number 8, the Barbagallo Volvo. Pace over the short course, 1730 metres. And as we have a look at the Tab Touch market, we've got Blockjaw at 2.15 and favourite, Mania at 4.60, Blue Blazer at 3.70, Hot Foot at 81, Fireplay 15, I'm Eugene at 14, Sid Streppo at $10, Sonic Chip 34, Soho Gigolo at 13. Bomber, which way are we going in race number 8, which looks a relatively open race?
Yeah, I think that there's probably a few chances, but I thought Blockjaw was the leader, and she really loved them off. Cole Harper calling the shots out in front. And, I think so long as she gets an opportunity through that second quarter to fill the lungs a bit, which I think she will, then she's certainly going to be the one to run over. She ran into good time Louis down at Bunbury and ran into about half a length, and I think if he came up with the same barrier here in this race, we'd be looking at long odds on. So looks a good form race, and I think she'll get the job done from out in front.
Kyle Harper driving in fantastic form. So race 8, number 1, a Blockjaw for Colin Reeves and Kyle Harper. What's our staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, pretty keen, Morts. I think she really just has to hold up, and then it's her race to lose. So 3-unit bet.
3 units, love it.
2.15. All right. And the final race we're going to look at is the final race, the Barbagallo Ram 2-year-old pace, 1,700 metres. And as we spoke to Ryan Bell about, this is probably the best race, even though it's only 6 horses, since we've seen the Sales Classic. This is a really good 2-year-old. It's the last race, but stay around to watch it. Not from above, $17. El Mastro. At 155, in from 170. Robbie Williams, really good first up. Majestic Lombo for Ryan Bell, $9. He is talking at 14. Butter Me Up, $6.50, who returned to racing, a winner on Monday, and Cease to React, who was really good, who sat outside the leader in the Sales Classic and ran second at $4.40. This is a really good 2-year-old race, and no doubt we're going to see a few of these horses, Bomber, as we head towards the Pearl, the West Spread, and the Golden Slipper.
Yeah, looking forward to some of these quality horses coming back, Rads. And I thought Cease to React was well over the odds here. He showed very good ability last time in, and he tightened up nicely with the trial just recently. And El Maestro, whilst he did look good down at Pinjarra, I thought he had to be held together off the arm, so I think he could be a little bit risky into this first corner, and if one or two decide to launch, then that could bring Cease to React right into the race. As good as he looked to the eye at Pinjarra, I don't think El Maestro beat any superstars, and Cease to React, he raced against the best of his age last time, so despite the wide draw, I think at the price, he's certainly well worth a bet.
Every time you say that, I keep on hearing you saying El Maestro. who won the 88 in Dominion for the great Jay Vinskin and Bob Knight?
He sure did. If he was in, he certainly would have done it.
Wouldn't he?
He would lap them.
Sorry, Mort, I interrupted.
No, that's quite all right. As Michael said earlier on, it is and Bomber, it's a fantastic race and a great way to win the card out. So
and Ken turned out a really good 2-year-old, Robbie Williams, but good to see Michael Young come up with a couple of good 2-year-olds as well.
Yeah, certainly he's good to see him at the sales over the last couple of years and having some success. So hopefully see him back there as well. So because the stable, as we spoke about earlier, is travelling beautiful, Michael. Yep. So Bomber race 10, horse number 6, Cease to React, for the very powerful Michael Young stable and Gary Hall Jr. What's our staking plan?
Yeah, 1 unit bet. I quite like the horse, and had he drawn one more, so I think he's probably $1.50. So it's just the barrier that gives us the price, I think. So yeah, 1 unit bet with just a little bit of luck required.
All right, really good race. Stay up for the last because it's going to be a great race. The last race, a 2-year-old, really exciting 2-year-olds. Me and Morts, we love the 2-year-olds.
Certainly do, Michael. That's where
even when we don't have one interest.
Yeah,
just love seeing.
That's where dreams are made and shattered.
Yeah, still every week go through the trials and see who's coming through and stuff like that. It's really good, and no doubt they'll start to get. So I think Michael's come back first with his, but I think you'll see the next couple of weeks
more and more starting to come back.
Starting to come through. Bomber, no multi this week.
No, I found the week a little bit hard, Brad. There's a bit of value in the 4 tips, so I think we just stick with that this week.
All right. Now, in the NRL tipping, I gave you a start. I've started my run. I've started it serious.
Tip, you can back it up this week.
Yeah, tipped the card last week, including the Knights, who gave me a heart attack when we got home. But I was on the bot. I was running last. Including a bloke who wasn't even putting in his tips was above me, and he still might be. But I've started. I've started my move. I'm only one behind Bomber now, and I'm only about I think 4 or 5 off running third. It's
being one behind me is nothing to write home about. But you are within.
Striking
within
distance.
Firing shot of the leader,
Yeah, but and saying that in the actual competition, I think second last is 2 games outside the 8. Like that's how close it is.
Yeah.
Like in 3 weeks, the second last team could be in 8th position. which is actually a really good competition. And the State of Origin comes here Wednesday. Can't believe how happy I am.
Next Wednesday, Michael.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Me and Sully's coming over.
Very good.
He's hosting a function on the Tuesday night. Big cast. We've got Jonathan Thurston, Paul Gallen, who's fighting Sonny Bill Williams, coming up as well, and the great Andrew Johns, the 8th Immortal.
Yep.
Will be here, and Sully's hosting that function, so I think it's almost a sellout.
And did I see my man Jerome? And
Jerome Lewis goes into the team after Mitchell Moses came out of the team today with a calf strain. So it's all happening. Really,
that's not a bad in.
No, it's very good. He won the series helped win the series for us last year at 5'8", so that goes in. And how are you going into the AFL, boys?
Struggling.
I was happy to be talking about the NRL.
Struggling. Next.
I think we're going as well as Essendon, aren't we, Mom?
I think I'm actually going worse than Essendon, if that's possible. Next.
I love listening to Timmy this week defend the West Coast Eagles defeat last week.
He's done well. Been doing it for the last 3 years.
Doesn't he? He digs in.
Yeah, he does. He's passionate supporter.
You want him on your team, Timmy.
Passionate supporter, yeah.
You want him on your team. And he'll be leading the team tomorrow in the Retrovision preview.
Park preview.
And what about this, Bomber? He's leapfrogged all of us, Ollie Cownie. He's going to be part of the preview tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. He's been elevated.
Yeah. Stick with us, Bomber. You'll go a long way. We're a launching pad.
Yeah.
Me and Morts.
Yeah.
We've gone backwards.
Yeah. and continuing to do so.
I think I'm stuck in neutral, so I may have something to do.
That's right. You can stay with us, Bomber. That's okay. All right, mate. Thanks for your time. Good luck on the weekend with not only your bets, but also your footy teams. And we'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
There we go.
To the great man.
Bomber Hill. He's a good man.
Yep.
And great family.
Speaking of great man.
Yep.
The great Ken Casellas.
Yes.
Order of Australia
How good's
medal.
that?
How good was that?
Yeah, really good. He's on his annual sojourn at the moment, so he wasn't even in the country to get it. Yeah, he goes to his roots in Spain every year, and what a great man he is.
Yeah, fantastic, and to get that.
We got the Ken Casellas Award that we named after him
That award's fantastic.
Which is the best. I think it's the best media for the year, like best article or for performance. Hayden King won it this year. Who follows him at the West.
Yeah.
Kenny was a great, but Kenny is that.
They called him Stats. I didn't realise his nickname was Stats.
No, well, Mouse is his nickname. A lot of people, Mouse.
Okay, because some called him Stats because apparently back in the early days he would sit there with his book behind the goals and, he got a free kick and a this and a that.
He's Hall of Fame at MCG. Like he's a member of the, because of his duties, obviously he wrote, obviously the Wacker is just revered. He's written books about the Wacker and obviously what he does for us every week here in harness racing.
It's amazing to see him out the front there every single week.
Bouncing around.
Yep. Full of beans and could be rain or hail, but he's still
doesn't
there.
care.
Which, no, it's great. Really good. So, couldn't miss just mentioning that.
No, you've got to. No, outstanding. Yes, very good. Yes.
National ratings, how they travelling?
I'm not sure. How are they?
No, just thought I'd ask.
I think, I haven't seen too many wagering things that I've looked into.
Yep.
But it's been a pretty tough time anyway, wagering
Right,
overall.
okay. Yep.
But the prices have been okay. I think there's still there's a few programming things we've got to tweak.
Yeah.
Obviously, the preferential barrier draw is
killing.
Well, I don't
some
know.
horses.
Well, some horses, but obviously it's setting up races where there's really good betting races, and
some of those horses have got to be able to find a way to get back in.
They've got to get back in the draw.
So I don't know what that looks like in terms of, but some.
Yeah, and it might be more dollars last 5 pure barrier draws, which is current form.
Yeah.
So you get back in after you can't do it.
I think that would be a good option.
Yeah, so I
need to find something.
I think they're looking at it. Had a meeting about the feature races with Warren and that the other day, and obviously at this time of year, trying to get the mares have got the preferential barrier draws because there's no mares free for all.
Yeah.
But when you've got a good mare like Artie by the Seaside, she's just got to roll up and barrier 1 or 2, and she's got to win. I think as we go through the programming. And the program is very different to what it was when it started, and I think it'll continue to evolve, and I think it's got to.
Yep.
Because you've also got to evolve with your horse population at that time of year. So winter is completely different to as we get into spring. Because it's completely different horse population as we go through. So I'd probably like to see more preferential barrier draws than the last 5 purely. And I'd probably like to see almost the introduction of, because programming you can do different things. You got the ratings. I think those dollars last 5 less than 20 were really good. Dollars last 5 less than 25 were really good.
Yeah,
and had big fields every week, and I think that would benefit than probably like we're giving horses a chance to win, $20,000 stakes for up to 60. And that's sort of C2, C3 in the old. So it's different, So I think dollars last 5, you'll get a different field that are probably more suited to metro racing that are in there. But I think it'll evolve. Like it's been evolving all the way through. Fields are
and that's
picking
the
up.
good thing. At least it has been evolving.
Yeah, and also you look at some of the programming. It was 18, like. 0 wins 18k. They've gone to 20 and stuff like that.
Yep.
They've still got the 18k, different ones at 18k, but they've actually increased it to 20 and stuff like that.
Yep.
Which our metro racing now at 21. So it should, in my thinking, it should be 21. But you're also dealing with horses that have raced through that $18,000 system, so I can see that. But now our races are worth more. I think it's sort of got to adjust up there as well. So, and they've done that as well.
That's good.
So, but obviously a lot of the barrier draws, they're not too random. So it's more around the preferential barrier draw sex. There is sex, but dollars last 5, but it's generally sex first, then dollars last 5, and then, maybe alternating those sort of things I'd be in favour for. But
just a bit of
and those little tweaks can make the world of difference.
I agree. I'm just happy that it is evolving, and hopefully it continues to evolve.
You've got to say it is different to when it first started in in January, and it'll evolve again. So, I thought our system previously was better. I was never a fan of changing and said that, but the fact is we're there.
So,
it's now a bit down to programming.
Yeah.
And I know they're working on it. I know they look at different things. And if you speak to Warren Wishart, he can defend everything he's done and do it very well. And, yep, you can't argue. But now we need to get full fields. But obviously, our best turnover races is when the favourite is that $1.80 to $2.70.
Yeah.
So even though you look at it and you see a $4 favourite and you think, it's a good betting race, it actually is not as far as turnover goes.
Yeah.
It's probably good for you for a punter, but as far as turnover goes, it does decrease.
It's pretty good for the $10 each way,
well,
$20 each way punter. Good value at 4 to 1, but
we're here for
we're
here for the volume to pay for stakes.
Yeah,
and the best turnover races are, and no doubt they've probably had more of those races than previously. So, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I think it's just tweaking different things to make sure we get full fields. And if we can get an even money favourite to $2.20 favourite every race, that's where we want to be.
Yeah. Oh well, hopefully we can. Hopefully we'll get there, which would be good.
Yep.
What else we got, Michael? What else has been?
And we've been through that feature race review. I know I saw a few of the. There's a few responses to that feature race review, so I think there'll be a few tweaks. It's mainly for the first part of the year. I think the back part of the year
seems to be pretty good.
Pretty good,
yeah.
Because you go that 2-year-olds in August into the 3-year-olds. Into the fours and then the cup now, and then they've got enough time to spell, and then come back for their next season for their 3. And got to get the first part of this season right, so you can spell long enough, and then come back, and then you can spell again, and then come back. Yes. So that's what we've got to. Yes. You've got to make sure that you can do that. So there's ebbs and flows, and particularly now with the Nullarbor Fremantle Cup in April. Yeah, that's now the new ebb. And and that's where we need to get to, and then you roll through, and then you can break, and then come back for the summer. And that's what we need to build, and especially for the feature races, to make sure those horses are coming back and in and out, and then the other horses that aren't quite up to them can then pick around them as well. So you can actually, if you want to be there against them, you can target them, but also you can pick off these other races around, like especially metro races.
Yeah. No, very good. Looking forward to the remainder of 2025, Michael.
Yes. How are your horses going? Where's Never Ending?
All good.
I read Ernie's column the other day.
Yeah, no, he's been coming along well.
Won't be too far away?
Not too far away. The plan is to Winter Cup, which was
2 weeks away?
About the 11th of July.
Oh, okay.
10th of July.
A few more, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks away. That's where he started last year, was in the Winter Cup. Look, I think ideally, if he had one run before, would be great, but whether that's going to be the case and
enjoyed
maybe
his
just
break?
Go straight in. Yeah.
Got him back?
Yeah. Justin's been happy with him without giving much away, as you all know all too well. But no, he seems to be pretty happy with him. So yeah, that's good. So we're looking forward to him. Mighty Ronaldo's not far from starting as well, and of course we've got very nice 2-year-old colt by the name of Ideal Beach.
And what about this, Morts? If you book into the Beau Rivage, you go in the running for a 2.5% share of Perfect Mickey. Christmas in July. So Christmas in July goes for the last 3 weeks of July at Beau Rivage. Perfect Mickey, who we showed,
who was about to start soon.
Yes, she's been back in work for a while. She ran 4th in the Sales Classic, and Junior. Speaking of Junior, loves her.
Yeah, really, really likes her. She's out of no less than perfect.
Yeah, by
Always Be Mickey.
So we know she's ready. And then as soon as we give that share away, she'll be ready to race in the Diamond Classic West Bred. So you got a ready to run horse that will make these races. So book into the Beau Rivage, Christmas in July. and really looking forward to that. So
always a good time.
And she's a
up
good
there.
filly. Like, I
Christmas
know
in
Justin
July.
and Junior both like her.
Yeah.
So it's a chance. And our Gloucester Park members have also got a chance to win a 2.5% Sharon as well by
Very
buying
good.
a meal in the members. So if you're a member of Gloucester Park,
Very good.
get to the members area, buy a meal on a Friday night, and you go in the running.
Very good. Yeah, perfect, Mickey. So I remember it was a good first up run, and then ran fourth in the final.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, it's time to take a break.
Sounds good, Michael.
Geez, we prattled on after Bomber left.
We have. Poor old Amelia's just about.
All right, let's take a break. Now, Bricky's Dream. Tell you what, they put some money on it.
Sure did last week.
And good on them. Robbie Williams in great form.
Got the cash.
Great form. And he's got another great chance tomorrow night with a 2-year-old. But as we go to the break, here is Bricky's Dream landing a good plunge in the 9th race last week.
Crowd Control the inside. Bricky's Dream in front. Golden Load. Crowd Control, but it's Bricky's Dream doing it well. Over Golden Load the outside and Crowd Control and Franco Ecuador, and all the way Bricky's Dream. They knew what they were doing with the money.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Cornering for home, Butter Me Up got away from Amalfi Knight to lead by 2. He's giving chase again, the favourite. Butter Me Up leading Amalfi Knight. Mink back down to the tab touch sprint lane and out further is Crown General. It's Butter Me Up though from Amalfi Knight, and Butter Me Up will win it. Butter Me Up goes on to win by a length to Amalfi.
Yeah, Butter Me Up returned to racing. Amalfi Knight, who was first starter in a race, just galloped at the wrong stage. He's a really nice horse, Amalfi Knight. It looks like.
Was travelling well.
Yeah, but good to see Butter Me Up back, and no doubt Amalfi Knight will play his role in the races coming up, because
You would think so.
he's got his fair share of ability, and Butter Me Up goes around tomorrow night at Gloucester Park in that last, which we've discussed at length, the 2-year-old race, and Emily Savalco drives Butter Me Up against Sister Act, El Maestro and Majestic Lombo. Really good 2-year-old race to finish off the night. This segment's brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better on a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Road. Morts and travelled past there the other day, and plenty of people looking at cars as they always do. It's a great spot.
It's the end of financial year, Michael. They've got their big end of financial year sale. They've got some nice pre-owned vehicles there, which they're clearing through. And, of course, they've got the all brand new Mazdas down there, and they are an absolute treat. So get on down to Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Garrett Road and Guildford Road in Bayswater. Great cars, great service, great coffee, Michael.
Great supporters of us.
They certainly are.
All right. Welcome into the program, a man who continues to go on to bigger and better things. After springboarding from Talking Trots, I speak of Ollie Cownie, who's
Mr.
Ollie Cownie, who's a member of the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview tomorrow morning on Tab Radio from 8 a.m. with Tim Walker, Silky Moore and Trent Cooper. Ollie, welcome to the program.
Right, it's great to be on, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting on the preview tomorrow. I'm just hoping I can find a few winners to start us off, or I might not be on there for very long.
We didn't know whether you were going to accept our call today, because you've just gone to that next level.
Yeah, we thought probably get the engaged signal, or
So I always have time for Talking Trots.
So you'll be up all night cramming to make sure you've got the form all sorted, Ollie?
Yeah, I'll try and memorise every runner's last 15 starts and each sectional time in each of the races.
You'll do very well, Ollie. I'm sure you'll do. But I got to tell you, you are in good company on the preview. Silky, who else we got there? Glenmore.
Silky and Glenmore.
Silky and Glenmore.
Trent Cooper.
Trent, yeah.
And of course, panel, isn't it? And of course, the host with the most, Timmy Walker.
Yes, I know. You're in good company there.
And
right?
the special guest tomorrow, which you'll be very comfortable with, is the great, very powerful Michael Young.
Yeah, so, he gets a good run on on the preview and Talking Trots, and plenty of media attention for Michael. He loves the camera and he loves the microphone, so
Doesn't he want?
Can't keep him away from it.
He is very good with his time, Michael. I must admit, he's always, if you ring him, he'll, come on, no problems. And when he comes
really
on,
good.
and he's very good when he's on. So
Really, and doing a great job. Leading trainer, State's leading trainer, Gloucester Park's leading trainer. Still defying
he
everyone.
can train anything now at the moment. He's getting everything flying, and mares, geldings, young horses, old horses, they're all going.
Is he Kelly
going
Barron's
super
leading
at the
trainer?
moment.
He's got to be Kelly Barron's leading trainer soon. He's targeting Kelly Barron.
So, Ollie, if he's the state's number one trainer, you must be pretty close to the number one owner, given if he's the number one trainer, because you've got quite a few shares there with Michael along the way now.
Yeah, and I've been really lucky to sort of start buying horses with Michael, and have just timed it really well. And I've owned horses with him for a few years now, and started out with Lamandia, and from there I've just bought more shares and more horses, and been really lucky because we've won a lot of races. But it's not what it's all about, and it's really enjoyable just owning horses, even if they're sort of battlers and they only win every so often. But no, I've been spoilt. They're winning all the time at the moment, so just got to savour it, because it's not always that easy.
He's got some pretty big owners. He's got Ollie.
Yep.
He's got the Big Cat.
Yep.
Hayden King. Pike. William Pike. Adam Durant.
Gee whiz, he has got some big.
He's got some big owners.
Big owners, yeah. So
Trots End.
And he probably thinks it's not luck, by the way, Ollie. I'm sure he thinks
No,
it's great training,
he'll let
great
you know
selection.
he's flying, and
No, good on him. Good on him.
No, he's going super at the moment. I'm really happy to see him having the success he's had.
All right, let's get into it, because we've got a big weekend. We've got Northern Friday night racing with Gloucester Park, first race at 6:03. Then we head to Narrogin on Saturday night. There's 7 races, the first at 5:40. And Ollie, no doubt, will be getting very excited as we roll into Albion Park and the Winter Carnival. And some big stars have been stepping out recently, and that continues with one of the feature events on Saturday night, the Queensland Sun, which goes into the Rising Sun. And there's some other really good horses, and a couple of horses at Menangle that Luke McCarthy's getting ready to go up there as well, including Don Hugo, who returned to racing last week in impressive style. So everything's going towards, and Rocket City won first up there as well.
Yeah, it was so impressive as well. They sat outside the leader. They'd gone at 26 early, and he was off the track working, and he ended up just racing away and won pretty convincingly. And there was already a nom in for the Inter-Dominion series, so that's the sort of lofty sort of expectations they had for the horse. And so far in one run, he's seemingly delivering.
Bought by a couple of heavy hitters themselves, Birchall Bloodstock, Ryan Spice.
Yeah, well, they've done really well to get him. I don't think he was an overly expensive purchase, and he probably really does suit that mile racing there in Queensland, because he's just such a fast horse, and he's got great gate speed. And on Saturday, I think he'll be incredibly hard to beat again. He's drawn gate 1, so we might see another former WA winner there. There's been a few going around recently, former Bond horses during the week, and here's another one that's going really well.
All right, before we get to Albion Park, let's go to Northern Friday night. First at 6:03, 7 races. What do you got for us, Ollie?
We'll kick things off in race 2 at Northern. Into the Future was a super run last start. I thought, I had something on him, and I think it was about $15, and turning for home, he loomed into it, and I really thought he was going to come over the top and win the race. But Mr. Moonwalker, he was really tough there. He kicked back and he won, and Into the Future was just able to get up for second. And although he was beaten, it was a really good run there, I thought, in probably what looks a race that's a whole lot stronger and has a lot more depth than this one he comes up against at Northern. I think he's got such good gate speed. He's been driven cold, and he's been going really well like that. But this race might be a good opportunity for him to get forward, might be able to zip across, get onto the lead. And if he's able to do that, I think it'll be really hard for those horses out the back by Royal Command and Captain Said So to reel him in. I think he's found a really suitable race, and he's really been knocking on the door for a win, and I think he'll get the win he deserves there on Friday night. And then in race 6, another horse which I think is going pretty well at the moment, doesn't have the same really consistent numerical form in Sun and Sand, but I thought this horse was really good over the lightning lap last start at Pinjarra. Probably not form you'd really look for their next start over 2100, but this just looks a really suitable race here, I think. And draws gate 1 as well, should probably lead, has pretty good gate speed, and then the danger will likely be on its back here in Two Hearts, One Diamond, who was a very good winner last start. But if the leader can just be rated well enough to control things out in front and zip away, I think it can be really hard to beat. And you can probably play around the Quinella as well with the 1 and 7 there. I think it'll be leaders back dominating that race.
All right, so that's race 2, number 6, and race 6, number 1 at Northern. We head to Narrogin on Saturday night. 7 races, the first at 5:40. What do you got for us?
Yeah, interesting card at Narrogin. It's always good racing there, competitive racing, and we'll kick things off in race 5. I think Push Button Rock's going really well at the moment. Wasn't anywhere near them last start, but certainly from the wide draw, just got back, and I don't think it was a poor run, so can forgive that effort. And then her efforts prior to that were really good. She raced against Lion Queen, and obviously Lion Queen, she's a really high quality horse and very classy, and the run before that was against Sugar Delight, who's another horse that at her best is pretty classy. This race, it looks like there's a pretty even bunch. Dame Valor, she stands out first up for Aiden Campo, but you know, if she has to do a bit of work to get across there, that might bring in a few horses into this race. And I'm happy to be with Push Button Rock, who is sprinting up really nicely, and I think she can be a really good 1x3, 1x4 type Richie Bell bet for us in this race. And we'll just be hoping for a bit of speed on there, because Fleur de Marquis, she likes to get up on speed as well, so hopefully that ensures there's a genuine tempo there. And then we'll wait till the last race on the night for our last play in WA for the weekend, and that'll be Gelsomino Amal. I thought she was terrific last start. That was her first run for the David Young stable, and that followed up a second placing in the 3-year-old Diamond Classic final behind a really high quality horse there. So in Ruby Lavera, she was a dominant winner, but Gelsomino Amal was really good in behind, and she sprinted up nicely last start, and she might have just been beaten by a horse that goes quite well there in Autumn Lady. She seems to have good ability, and it sounds like the stable's got a pretty big rap on her, so I certainly don't think it's any knock her being beaten there, and this looks a really suitable race here, and I think she can hopefully sprint over the top.
All right, that's Narrogin Saturday night, race 5, number 8, into race 7, number 8, and then Albion Park, the feature race, the Queensland Sun, or one of the feature races, and it's for the 3 and 4-year-olds heading towards the Rising Sun. Interestingly, Grant Dixon's put Path to Greatness in the Rising Sun, and he's put in a 3-year-old race later on, Fader Weight. So he's separated his 2 good 3-year-olds, although Ribera's over from the Mark and Nathan Purdon stable against Fader Weight. So a really good card. What do you got for us, Ollie, at Albion Park?
Yeah, it is a great card, and that'll be really interesting, that Queensland Sun race. I was pretty surprised that Path to Greatness was so short in the early markets. I think he was about $1.80 when I last checked, and it's not really been a formula for success, the 3-year-olds taking on the 4-year-olds. So, I mean, he is a very, very smart 3-year-old, but he certainly have a bit of a task there holding off the older horses. But yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be him, or it's going to be Fader Weights. They're 2 pretty high quality horses. But the first bet I was keen to have was in race 1. I think this horse is just going to get a really good run in behind the speed in Master Charles. He's been going super at the moment. He was 3rd last start, and it was still a really good run. It was just a dash home, and the winner of that race was Sure Thing Captain, and he's a very smart horse, and they got home 26-4 there. So not being able to run past Rockstar Diamonds into second was certainly no knock, and I think he'll get a really good run on the back of my ultimate Buddha here, who's pretty likely to be the favourite in the race, and he can get a little bit keen in his races. So having the cold sit on his back there over the 2100 metres probably looks the right setup for Master Charles, and I think he can be really hard to hold out late, especially if the leader does get a bit keen in that race. So happy to start there, and then I'm happy to play into the race that Rocket City's in. I was keen to be with Rocket City, but I did suspect that he'd go up a pretty short price, which he may well do. I really thought he'd just be leading and winning, and I think that'll give a really good run to Dragon, who's right in behind him there and going to get the cold sit on his back. But, he's probably not good enough to run past him, but I certainly think he can battle away into the placings. He did get a similar run 2 starts ago, and he was able to place behind Barry Limbo, who's certainly not in the same class as Rocket City, but he's a pretty capable horse, Dragon, and I think he's probably nearly the second or third best horse in the race. So if he's able to get that really good run, I can see him running into the placings there.
All right, really good meeting at Albion Park. We also got Oscar Bonavina going around for Mark and Nathan Purdon in the trot race as well. So the trotting race ranks are starting to get up there, and the Kiwis are starting to head over. No doubt the Dalgettis will start to take a few horses over, and a few others will get to Queensland. And I'd imagine there's a few others that are going up from New South Wales and Queensland, and the Proto Star isn't too far away either. So Albion Park really heating up. Ollie, thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow morning on the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview. We'll be tuning in from 8 a.m. And no doubt writing down all your tips, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, guys. Looking forward to it.
There we go. Ollie Cownie.
Yes, making his way up the ladder.
Hey, he's
just
climbing.
leapfrogged us.
Just again.
In his wake we are, Michael. In his wake.
Yes, he'll keep going as well.
He'll provide some good insight with the boys tomorrow morning, that's for sure, and with the guests should be good. Should be a good show.
All right. I think we've gibbered on enough.
I don't think. I know we have. It's been good to be back, Michael, and
it's great to have you back, Morts.
It is good to be back, and look forward to harness racing tomorrow night at Gloucester Park and across the weekend at the across the country tracks, and then Pinjarra Monday and Gloucester Park again Tuesday. Do it all again.
Indeed. Good luck with Rolling Fire tomorrow night.
And good luck with Rolling Fire tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Good run last day.
Really good. Yeah, really good. Junior stuck with him, so it's
good run.
Good sign.
Good. Just hasn't drawn favourable again, but it was a good run and
indeed.
Chance?
Yeah, I think so. On his last run, you think he's got to be a real big chance. 2,500 suits as well.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Thanks to Ryan Bell. Thanks to Bomber. Thanks to Ollie. Thanks to Amelia for keeping us on.
Pushing all the buttons.
Yeah, pushing all the buttons. Getting us to air.
We're going to have to wake her up on the way out. I think we might have put her to sleep.
Yes, indeed. Thanks to you, Morts.
Great
to have you back.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Hope you stay to the end. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.